topic for this panel. This is just like me talking about stuff. Oh, I'm good. Open, closed, whatever you like. Doesn't matter to me. Not too noisy out there. Anyway, so yeah, it's just I guess basic Q&A. I'm Tiffany Grant. I've been working in the anime industry now for close to 20 years. I've worked an awful lot as a voice actor. I've done script adaptations. I've gone to over 200 conventions. Used to work in a talent agency. I work in commercials, film, theater. So any questions you have about acting and theater and film and anime and conventions, any of that stuff, I would be delighted to speak with you about any of those topics. And if you have no questions, I promise you I can talk for the rest of this hour on my own. I can totally do that. It's a thing. So, do you guys have any questions that you're absolutely dying to ask me? Yeah. Right here.
How did you get the role of Asuka?
Oh, how did I get the role of Asuka? Well, when Evangelion, when ADV was working on Evangelion, we had been dubbing shows for about, 2.5 years at that time. So we had worked on, one TV series, Blue Sea. We'd done several OVAs, so we had some experience. And interestingly, at the time that Evangelion was being cast, I didn't even know that was happening. I didn't know that it was being cast or that there were auditions. But after they started working on it, I started kind of hearing about it, and there was kind of a little bit of a buzz going about this show. Now, you have to keep in mind that when we were doing the English language dub of Evangelion, it was still running on TV in Japan. It came out in home video in the United States before it came out in home video in Japan, okay? So it was not some big global phenomenon when we were working on it. It was just a show, and hey, it's cool, and there's, giant robots, whatever. So, anyway, so the main parts have been cast for the first few episodes, Misato, Ritsuko, Gendo, Shinji, that blue-haired chick. Anyway, so they cast those principal roles in the show. Now, Asuka doesn't come in until episode 8. Well, anyway, I heard they were working on this show, and I apparently was not in it. Because back in those days, we used to only record 2 episodes at a time because that is how they came out on ye olde video cassette. Like a videotape would come out and there would be 2 episodes on the videotape. So that's all we would work on at one time. So they did volume 1, they did volume 2, they did volume 3. I am still not in this show. So I went to the director, Matt Greenfield, and I said, can I just work on the show? Maybe I could do like some background parts or something like that. No, you can't. You have to wait until your character comes in episode 8. And I promise you it's a good part. And I'm thinking, yeah, sure it is. Anyway, he has this camera up on top of a filing cabinet. It's all like, and so under Pimp Daddy Gamera's like big giant turtle arms, there's a Ray on one side and there's an Asuka on the other side. And he points at that, he goes, okay, see that girl right there, the one in the red, now that's your character, that's the one you're gonna play. But we're not doing that episode yet. Oh, okay, fine. Finally, I get called in to work on the show, and I think, well, I want to see what this thing is about, so I got the VHS tapes and I watched the first 7 episodes. I don't know, there's some whiny kid who's running away a lot. Anyway, so I was watching it, and I wanted to record it. What I didn't find out for quite some time after that is that I was pretty much the only person who did not audition. And the thing was, something they used to do an awful lot in the old or early ADV days is that they would hold these screenings. So when they would start working on new shows, they would every Friday or whatever, I don't know, I wasn't an employee of ADV, so I didn't get to go to these screenings. But anyway, they would have like pizza parties and screen episodes of anime in Japanese. And so people were watching it, and a lot of people at ADV were becoming fans of Evangelion. And as they started watching it and learning more about it, all these people kept coming into Matt's office and going, oh, so Tiffany is going to play Asuka, right? And anyway, so I don't know. I was just apparently born to play Asuka. I never auditioned for the role of Asuka. It just seemed that I was supposed to be Asuka. And just coincidentally, it happens that Asuka grew up in Germany on Ich kann Deutsch sprechen. So it just was coincidental. She's German, I speak German. Kismet, I don't know. So, I mean, I don't really know how I got the role of Asuka. I just did, and I have been told it's because I am Asuka. So that's all I can really tell you. I actually didn't audition for that part, but I had, you know, obviously been working in anime for a little while at that point, and I had done some other roles. And if anybody here has seen Blue Seed, you might kind of notice some shades of Asuka in Kome Sawaguchi, which we did before Evangelion. Anyway. There was another person. Yes.
Yeah.
Mushroom dude right here.
Hi. I was wondering, next to Asuka, do you have any other favorite anime character you have voiced?
Oh wow, you know, I get that question all the time about having a favorite anime character. It is too darn hard for me to pick a favorite character. It is just too difficult for me to pick a favorite one. I've voiced hundreds of characters over the years, and it's really, really hard to pick, you know, a favorite one or 5 favorite ones, or I don't know. It's really hard. What I think is great is that I don't have to pick a certain kind, because I get the opportunity to keep doing different kinds of characters, and I really, really love playing any kind of critters and little boys. Now, not exclusively, but I do really, really like doing those parts an awful, awful lot. So, but it's too hard for me to narrow it down. It's like if you had to pick your favorite child and you had 200 children. You know, that's what it's like for me. Or as I refer to them, all the people who live in my head.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of them in there. Okay, so yes, you got a question right there.
What I was going to ask you, how is it like, you know, when comparing working with Evangelion back in the ADV days and then the Loop and comparing it, and how does that compare to?
How does it compare working on the original TV series versus the movies?
Yeah.
Well, you know, one really big difference is that when we were working on the TV series, like I said, it was brand new. This was a new thing. Not a lot of people knew what it was. It wasn't some giant cult phenomenon thing. It was just a cool TV show that we were dubbing. And it was only the second TV show that we dubbed. So the really big difference now, I think, working on Ava is that Ava is a thing. You know, it's huge. I mean, it's big everywhere, but especially it's big in Japan. But there are a lot of preconceived ideas that people have about it now, what it should be or what it might be, what they want it to be. Versus, you know, when we were watching it originally, nobody knew what was going to happen. Congratulations. You know, we didn't know where all of that was going to go. So to me, that's the biggest difference, is that there's just so much more awareness and, I don't know, really pressure maybe. I'm not really sure, but just like you feel that people are watching you. And you know, all the time, people asking me about the next movie, which I don't know when we're supposed to be recording that or anything. I know Funimation has made the announcement that we are going to do it, but you know, I don't know when we'll record it or when it will come out or anything like that. But I mean, when we were working on the TV series, people weren't asking me, when's the next VHS coming out? I mean, it came out like every 2 months or something. I don't remember. But that's the biggest difference, really.